What's up, guys? It's your boy Justin with another comic review. Today we're reviewing Pitt, issue 2, which came out in July 1993. This is written by Dale Keown, with plot and pencils by Dale Keown, or, I don't know how to pronounce it, or do I? So this comic is called Dead or Alive. It starts off with Pitt. By the way, I reviewed issue 1 of Pitt, like, for Image Month, which was like 2 or 3 years ago. I think 2 years ago. So my memory on Pitt is like a little mixed, but you know, not much happened anyway. I remember a really bad Simpsons joke. It was very nonsensical, that comic book. So yeah, it starts off with bodybuilders robbing a bank, and only for one of them to ignore my dog. I took her out, I took her out for a walk like an hour ago. So it was a very long walk. So she's just acting up. And yeah. So like one of the, oh my god, that dumb dog. Well, anyway, one of them removed their mask outside of the bank, and this woman sees his face. So they had no choice but to kidnap her because of this idiot. And Pitt sees this. Pitt, who's riding a motorcycle, even though he's way too big and heavy for that motorcycle, catches up to them, rescues the woman, and there's some cool artwork here where, like, you know, he gets blasted in the face with a Uzi, and you know, it doesn't faze him at all, though he is bleeding, right? And yeah, he crushes the dude's hand and rescues the woman, right? And yeah. Only to, like, leave the money behind, because he, for some reason, even though he's supposed to be this half-breed alien warrior, who I think was sent to Earth to conquer it, he's playing superhero for some dumb reason, right? And completely forgets about his bike and leaps away like the Hulk, which, oh my god. So yeah, we find out the aftermath of the alien bounty hunters attacking the subway, right? Where the two cop characters survive. The Harris rescues her partner Jack, and it's revealed that she has super strength, right? And we finally find out what the hell the comic book is about. Basically, the alien presence in his head, right, is though I don't really remember these aliens, but whatever, tells him that he's a half-breed Creed warrior, which the Creed want to be. They don't say this, but the Creed probably want to conquer the Earth, and he was sent there sent to Earth to reproduce with human females to create more Creed warriors. But he's aborted the mission. He's now a good guy, but he has to go and rescue the kid Timmy, because the kid Timmy and him are, like, genetically linked, right? And if something happens to him, I guess happens to Timmy, it would be bad for him. And he's shielded from the probes from the alien bounty hunters, but Timmy is not, so they have to go rescue Timmy. Timmy's watching TV, and you see the news lady from the Spawn comic book, because this is supposed to be, this is supposed to be, the Image universe, right? How long did that last? Who knows? And by the way, you can see a Ren and Stampy doll in the background. I don't remember which one's which, right? And yeah, the alien bounty hunters show up. Pitt saves them, right? And you have a really short fight, which is pretty brutal, because he rips the stone monsters apart with his bare hands, and then he knocks this dude's head off after getting blasted in the face. Right, surviving getting blasted in the face. And here you can see the him getting his head knocked off. Right. So this is where they tell Timmy that, hey, we're the good guys, right? Blah blah blah. And the book ends with the guy who was in charge of sending the bounty hunters. Sorry, the guy who also has no nose, who was in charge of sending the bounty hunters after Pitt, gets killed by his leader for failing his mission. We find out that this thing is like Pitt's fodder or something. Like half his DNA went to creating Pitt, right, and the rest of it's human. So he kills the one dude for failing his mission, right? And we get comic book ads for Strike Force, Gen X, Image is Gen X, which is like, what the fuck? Image had a Gen X comic book, which I guess with Gen 13 characters. For people who don't know, there was a Gen X comic book, but it was like from Marvel, right? And you have Eric Larson's Super Patriot. So if you didn't notice, I'll tell you right now, the comic book is super fucking paper thin. This is a very thin floppy. I paid $3 for this, which is about what it would about close what it would have costed if I had bought it back then. But holy shit, if I had bought this back then, I would have been like total ripoff, and I would have been like pissed off because I'm like, wow, this is because like for people who don't know, this came out a year after the original Pitt came out. It took a year for that lazy asshole to put out issue 2, and by that point, all this, for people who don't know, Pitt issue 1 was a huge bestseller, right? But by the time that Pitt issue 2 came out, all the steam went out of its sales, because when you make comic book creators their own bosses, they're lazy as fuck. They're lazy as fuck. And that's why I'm anti-Comicsgate, because these guys are fucking, lazy assholes who are just gonna squeeze you for all your fucking worth, right? Yeah. So what did I think about the comic book? The art is great. But like I said, besides from the cool art, not much else going on in this book, and even the character designs. Pitt looks okay, but the alien bounty hunters and the big bad looks kind of generic. Let's show you the big bad again. This guy. Which, oh my god, the dialogue was so bad. When he spoke, the dialogue is so bad. Which I know it's not easy writing dialogue for villains, because it could come off over dramatic and shit, but holy shit, the dialogue was bad. I did not like this comic book at all, really. The art is cool, and that's basically it. The book was too short, right, and I'm not a fan of the dialogue, but that could be nitpicking, and I'm not a fan of the character designs, but the action scenes did look cool, and I did like the over-the-top violence, even though it wasn't particularly that gory. Still, the action scenes were cool. So I'm giving, and the art's good. So I'm giving it a 5 out of 10. But yeah, it's the thing where it's like good art, but holy fuck. And like usually with these comic books, if the content's a little short, they put in a backup story, because it was the same for like issue 5 of Pitt, which we reviewed on the channel. In like Image Comics 90s back issue special, where I reviewed like 3 or 4 random Image comics. that had like a backup story. They didn't do that for this one. So yeah, this comic sucks. Well, 5 out of 10. If I can get like the other Pitt issues for cheap, maybe I'll get it, but I'm not spending more than like a few bucks. So yeah. Our next review is going to be either Spawn Origins Collections Volume 3 or Two Moons Volume 1, The Iron Noose, which is a horror western comic that came out a while ago, and I heard this was pretty good. Right, it was recommended by Comic Crack, who did a review for it. Which I think he only live streams and then he deletes his videos. I don't know. So like, yeah, he's still around. Yeah. So I don't know. Let me know. Do you want a review for this or a review for that? That's it for this video, guys. Peace.